So welcome everybody. Good evening from Germany. We really have an international crew here. We've got Stephanie in Switzerland, Lars in Norway,
Yeah, for the
and
moment.
we've got
Yeah.
Antje in Sweden. Wow, I mean, this is like, and me in Germany. So we've got Germany, Sweden, Norway, and Switzerland. I'm not quite sure where Rolf comes from, but
Norway also.
oh, okay. Well, so that's two people we've got there, and we've got a Patrick just joining the meeting here as well. So yeah, so it's quite amazing when you can have such a small meeting, but so international, people from all corners of the place. I've just had this chap, joined in the UK. He originally, by the way, Antje, he originally comes from South Africa, and he's just brought his brother in from South Africa. So we've got a South African and well, all over the place. We're just everywhere at the moment. Oh, in fact, yeah, I just signed somebody up in India as well. Almost forgot. So she's not, because India is like 3 hours ahead of us, so she won't be joining us. But Namrata, as you know, Ansha from Foreign,
yeah.
she's
yeah.
part of the community, so that's exciting.
Very, very, very exciting. Very happy. Well done, John.
I'm busy with it, man. I need to get that Asia thing in the bag by June. So that's looking very exciting as well. Patrick, have you been on this meeting before? I think you have, haven't you? You're muted, Patrick. I think you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello.
Hello,
Yeah,
Patrick.
no, I haven't been on the training one. I've only been on the ordinary presentation, you know.
Ah, right. Well, I don't recognize your name. So welcome, Patrick, to this meeting.
Thank you.
This is something that we do, like extra training on top of what we're already doing. We go into sort of deeper subjects to give you a much better and deeper understanding of how things work. You know, we talk about many things, but we're going to talk about our thoughts and our feelings. I know that Antje will love this because this is her space. So perhaps Antje can, you know, tell us a bit about from our perspective when I'm finished the training. So just sit back, Patrick, enjoy yourself. This is just an open house. It's not formal. So if you get any questions or you want to make any contribution, just let us know.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, so we'll get started. Just to give you a bit of a brief summary, as you remember that we've talked about many subjects. We've talked about extrinsic and intrinsic motivators. We've talked about contacting, inviting people. We've talked about the core skills. I mean, we've talked about so many things that actually I've forgotten about so much that we've actually talked about. But I wanted to address a subject that is quite important, you see, because we can know what to do. We can kind of know some skills over here and some experience over there. But here's the thing. See, it doesn't matter what we do. It's how we do what we do that matters. So a lot of people, as an example, they know that they want to get some stuff, but they find themselves not doing it. Or they know what they need to do and they do it, but they don't get any results. And quite often we ask ourselves, why is that? You know, I'm doing stuff here, but why am I not getting results? And if you were to, it's like they say in the movies, you know, just follow the money. Well, if you follow the results and the actions back, it comes to a place that we call our thoughts. I'll give you a bit of background on that. For the approximately first 25 years of our lives, you know, we get brought up by our parents. In fact, the first 6 years of our lives, approximately, we are just consciously aware of what's going on, but we're taking on board information. Now, I just wanted to think about your own life and your own upbringing. Think about the house that you were brought up with, your parents that you were brought up with, your relatives, your auntie, your uncle, your grandfather, your neighbors, and your friends. And you just think about that environment and just think, if you could take yourself back to that time, just think about the environment were you in. Was it a positive environment? Was it an uplifting environment? Were you empowered by these people, or were they just average people saying things like, money doesn't grow on trees, that don't get too ambitious, you'll only be disappointed. And all these things have a negative impact, and they create this thing that we call our paradigm or mindset or attitude. So after about 25 years plus of life, we go into the big wide world with our program. That's why they call, I don't like to call it a lot of people talk about mindset, but if you think about the word mindset, it's actually a position where it is fixed at that position. It's set, your mind is set. I prefer it to call it mind flow because it's ever evolving, and we can always take on new information to expand our horizon. So from this point on, we're going to call it mind flow and not mindset. But you do actually have a mindset at a certain age. Now, we don't know that. It's like, pigs don't know that pigs stink. We know they do, but they don't know that because they're pigs. And that's just how it is. So when we go out into the world and we hear all these amazing things like, this is how you speak to people, and this is how you set goals, and, this is how you plug into the system. But if our mind is set in a way that we cannot really translate that information, then we need to sort of wonder why that is. So I've put together a very brief PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to go through, and this will sort of cast some light on the subject that we're talking about. So just allow me to share my screen here. Let me see, where are we going? Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay, so if we do this, we're over here. Okay, can I just confirm that everybody can see this?
Yes.
Great, fantastic. So basically, there's a longer presentation to this, but I just shortened it down to be specific about what it is we are talking about here. And it's basically understanding your thoughts, because quite often nobody teaches us, nobody teaches us at school how to think. We get, and when the teacher says things like pay attention, well, how do you do that? I mean, what does that mean? How do you pay attention? How do you actually pay attention? We get told all these things in school, pay attention, behave yourself, but nobody actually teaches us how to do that. And nobody teaches us how to think. So I just want to give you a brief overview to give you an understanding of your thoughts. Now, these are scientific studies, so I'm not just like making this up. And it's important to sort of really, dive deep into this and really sort of think about yourself as a person. So scientific studies found that the average person, I'm not talking about your sort of 5%, your super achievers, your average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Now you think about that. Now, somebody that's thinking 12,000 thoughts a day is probably somebody who doesn't really think at all. They sit and watch the TV and don't have much activity in their lives. And then somebody who's more active might have 60,000. So just sit on that, 12 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Of those thoughts, now this is really fundamental. Of those thoughts, those thousands of thoughts, 80% of those thoughts are negative. Can you believe that? And 95% of all those thoughts were exactly the same thoughts as the day before. Now, you think about this, when you wake up in the morning, everybody has their routine, and that's okay. You don't want to relearn how to tie your laces. You don't want to relearn how to brush your teeth. You don't want to relearn how to have a shave. That's for the blokes, by the way. So, we don't have to really relearn that at all. But think about that, 80% are negative and 95% with the exact same thoughts as the day before. So when you get up every day, and if you were to step back and have a conscious look at your day, we all get up and we do the same routine. We brush our teeth the same way. We make our bed the same way. We have a routine when we have a coffee or a tea and our breakfast and go to work and do whatever we do. Same stuff every day. And it's the same with our thoughts. And those statistics there are very accurate. Scientists spend a lot of time and a lot of research into giving us this information. So now you have to excuse this because drawing and art was not my subject at school. So I've just threw together this person. He's got a big head and a fairly reasonable body. So, you know, it doesn't work out, but it's fairly reasonable. So the C stands for conscious, because there's two parts to your brain. You have the conscious part of your brain, and we have the much bigger part of our brain called the subconscious mind, or the unconscious mind. Now, it's like the iceberg. The little tip above the water is the conscious part. That's your prefrontal cortex that does all the thinking. That's what we're using right now. And then you've got the big, massive database that stores everything from our very first memory to how we create habits. Everything is stored in there. And there's a negative side. Remember, I gave you those statistics, and there's a positive side. So every single day, remember 12 to 60,000 thoughts per day. All these thoughts are coming in and we are processing them. So when we actually think we're processing them, we have a feeling, because thoughts translate into feelings. You know, when you have those days where you think, I can't be bothered doing that, that's a feeling. Or you're motivated to do something, that's a feeling. So we have these feelings, and when we have a thought and a feeling, we actually transmit a frequency or a vibration into this thing we call the universe. You don't have to understand that, it's just it's there. Antje understands this, but it's there. And whether it's positive or negative, we get a result back. Now I'm going to break this down, so don't worry too much about it. So when we have a thought, we have a feeling, we put a vibration or a frequency into the universe, and it comes back in the way of a result. Now, on the right-hand side, negative, quite often we say, I didn't want that to happen. I wanted this to happen. Well, if you're thinking the wrong thoughts, you're going to get the wrong results. If you're thinking the right thoughts with the right feelings, you're going to get the right results. So you'll end up like this person on the left if you're getting the right results, happy, really fulfilled, fantastic, can't wait to get up the next day. Or you'll end up like this guy over here on the right-hand side, frustration, anxiety, doubt, fears, worry, all those kind of things. They're all feelings. And these are the sort of thoughts that we have. There's many thoughts, of course, 12 to 60,000, but these are just some examples. I can't sponsor anybody. I'm going to talk about words in a minute, but I can't sponsor anybody. We see our thoughts are a self-fulfilling prophecy. When we tell ourselves we can't do something, guess what? The subconscious goes to mind, it goes to work, and we get that result. Oh, you're right, you can't sponsor anybody. These people over here have a purpose. We spoke about external and intrinsic, extrinsic and intrinsic motivators. These people have a purpose. They have an intention. They have a goal. I hate bills. Anybody ever said that? You get that bill coming in, you're like, oh my God, I hate bills. Well, guess what? Everybody hates bills. But when we hate bills, guess what we get? We get more bills. We're going to get bills anyway, so why not love them and just pay them? These people are focused. On the left-hand side, they're focused. Where attention goes, energy flows. I never have time. Anybody ever said that before or heard that before? I never have time, or I don't have enough time. Well, the thing is that here is the irony with the 8 billion, well, it's actually exceeded 8 billion people now, but just say it's 8 billion people on the planet, exactly from the Rockefellers down to the guy living on the street, have 24 hours a day. So it can't be, I haven't got time. You've got the same time as everybody else. It's just about how you use your time. And these people have goals. So when we think those conscious thoughts, we program our subconscious mind, and basically we end up with a situation where we get the results based on the thoughts that we are thinking. So there's your thought, your frequency. If you were to hold a glass of water and speak, you would actually feel a vibration on the glass. You would probably see ripples on the glass. Now, when we speak, we don't think of it in this context, but when we speak words, it's actually a vibration. It's a frequency going out into the what we call the quantum field, and you get a result. So here is basically this in a short version. If thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body, what you think and what you feel creates your personality, the person you are or have become. and your personality creates your personal reality. Remember, I just showed you that illustration just there? You end up as the person either on the right or you end up on the person on the left, and that is your personality, because what we think, that's your personality. So you do things in life depending on your paradigm, your personality, your attitude, your mindset. You think you're doing the right thing, but you're not. You're doing the right thing in your life, but it isn't necessarily the right thing, because we have a perception. This is how it should be. And we have a perception, and we have a perspective. It's when you stand back from the situation. Remember, I said I can't sponsor people. When you step back from the situation and see it as from a different perspective, it completely looks different. Because if you've got two people doing the same thing but getting different results, there's a reason for that. So therefore, your thoughts and feelings and how you act become your results. That is just it. It's not that simple, but that's basically it. Is, see, you're thinking something, you're feeling something. You think about it when you're going to reach out to people, you know, to ask them to invite them to have a look at some information about your business. Are you going out there with energy, or are you thinking it's a chore, a mundane task? You know, I'm expected to do this. This is how we feel about it. Therefore, you don't get the results you're looking for, and therefore you get frustrated and usually end up quitting. So where attention goes, energy flows. And we don't have to go into that subject. It's a subject on itself. So how do you begin your day? Are you reactive or are you intentional? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first things that you do, apart from waking up, of course? Do you grab your phone and start checking social media? Or are you sort of elated and jumping out of bed, ready to start the day? Or you check your social media, or you check your emails, or you check some sort of notification, and it's not a particularly good result, and you think, oh my God, so this is it. We're already reacting to life instead of being intentional, just walking past the noise, not hearing it, because we're focused, we're intentional. Did you know that the majority of people either live in the past or live in the future? That's actually a fact. You think about it. When you're worried, you're doubtful, you're thinking about things that haven't happened yet. This is you living in the future. You're trying to anticipate the result in the future of whatever it is that's going on in your life. But guess what? It's not here yet. Or you're thinking about things that happened in the past. Oh, I spoke to this guy and, you know, he said no, or he was negative or whatever, or this happened or that happened or the other thing happened. It happened, which means it's in the past. Now, let me ask you a question, and I haven't seen any scientific evidence to back this up, but can you change the past? The answer is a straight no. So why would you focus on the past? See, the thing is that we are here, we are having this meeting right here and now, which means the present. We create our future by what we do in the present, or if we don't do anything in the present, the future will be created for us anyway. And it probably won't be the future that we were hoping for, but it's just going to happen anyway without us. It's like the ship leaving the harbor without a rudder. You know, the wind will blow it in one direction, the tide will blow it in another direction, but it's got no specific direction. It just gets pushed a bit from pillar to pole, and that's how most people go through life. The key is to live in the present, here and now. What am I thinking right now? What am I feeling right now? What are my tensions right now, here and now? Not yesterday, not in the future, trying to anticipate what's going to happen. Is the decisions that we make right now. So living in the present means a permanent awareness of who you are, what you feel, where you are, and what you're doing right now. Because quite often we get tied up in the thick of things. And we're thinking, you'll be surprised. Remember I said 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day? About 95% of those thoughts are actually subconscious. It's that conversation going on in your mind that you're probably not even aware of. You think about it, when you actually stop consciously and think about what you're actually thinking unconsciously, you'll actually be quite surprised about the thoughts that you're thinking. And quite often they're about stuff that doesn't matter, or stuff that we can't change, or stuff that hasn't happened yet. And that's why conscious awareness is key. And I'm sure that Ancha's got some stuff to say about that when we're finished. So living in the present is a challenge because of we are creatures of habits. We have all these distractions. There's tons of stuff that take our attention. It's like when we sit down in front of our computer and say, right, this is it. I'm going to take an hour now and I'm going to speak to a whole bunch of people, have some conversation. I'm going to invite them to have a look at my business, or I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to do whatever. And then this happens, and then we get distracted over here, and then this other thing happens, and then we stop doing this thing over here and we go over here, and then this other thing happens. So we end up going over here and we're bouncing all over the place, but we never really get done what we intended to do because of distractions. So if you want to change some things in your life, guess what? You've got to change some things in your life. And it all begins by being aware of your thoughts and your feelings. Because if you think about it, our bodies are absolutely amazing creations. Our feelings were put in there to give us an indicator. It's like your temperature gauge in your car. It tells you how hot your engine is, and if it goes into the red, it means there's a problem. And it's like our feelings. Our feelings are there to give us an idea of what's going on inside, and they come from the way we thought. So when you tune into how you feel, you can trace that back to actually what you're thinking. And I can guarantee that when you go away from this meeting here, you might just go back into default mode and just keep doing your same thing. You might think, hold on a minute, there's actually a bit of truth here. I should really tune into what I'm thinking. And I can guarantee that if you think the right thoughts, you will feel the right feelings. And your whole paradigm, your whole environment, everything changes when you start thinking the right way. So what can we implement to change our results? What are some little things that we can do just to change our thoughts? Here's just a couple of suggestions. Awareness, just mentioned that, is really, conscious awareness. Gratitude. Now, gratitude is in my book, gratitude is the foundation of the good life, because how the universe works is really quite simple. If you're not grateful for what you currently have, and that means have in all senses, then how can you possibly expect more? You can't expect more results, more abundance, more happiness, more of anything to come into your life if you're not grateful for what you already have. That's just the whole foundation of being happy. Visualization, programming the subconscious mind. You see, here's the, they've done many tests on this. Sports people, they do it all the time. And they've done tests where they'll take a top athlete, wire them all up to the scanner, and he will visualize his best or her best, let's say he's a 100-meter runner, her best 100-meter race. And then they'll take another person and they will actually run 100 meters and do their best. And guess what? The person who visualized it and the person who actually done it have exactly the same results in terms of their biometrics. Because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagined, and it doesn't know the difference between imagined or reality. It works the same way. Affirmations are statements, and I'll give you a tip on affirmations. There are many different kinds of affirmations, but I am affirmations. I am. Now, this sounds like you're fooling yourself. I am successful. I am a millionaire. I am abundant. I am, a magnetic sponsor. I am. See, you've got to talk as if it has already happened. Because remember, I said your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagined. It acts the same way. So when you trick your subconscious mind into actually believing whatever it is you are, then it will work accordingly. It will bring people, ideas, opportunities, and resources into your life on this journey to help and guide you towards building an amazing life of abundance. But it first of all has to believe it. And affirmations help you do that. We have affirmations, and these are questions. You can ask yourself questions like, I don't mean why am I not successful? That's a question, but it's not a good, productive question. Why am I so successful? Why am I so confident? Why can I flawlessly sponsor people? Why can I manage why am I so good at managing my time? Why am I so good at setting goals and achieving them? And your subconscious mind thinks, why is that? And it will start working towards that when you use affirmations. Journaling is a good one. You know, some people do it in the morning, some people do it at the end of the day, but it's always good to just have a specific book called a journal. And really every single day is when you sit down, you're just about to close the day off, or in the morning, it depends whenever you feel like it, and basically reflect on the day before. How did I feel? What did I do? What did I not do? How could I improve? How was my life yesterday? What am I looking forward to do? It's like life, and it's like writing your autobiography on a daily basis. And you'll actually be somewhat surprised if you journal every single day and maybe look back at what you wrote 6 months ago. You will find, if you're on this journey, that you'll be a different person today than you were 6 months ago. Meditating. Now, meditating, some people, you don't have to know initially how to meditate, just do it. The best way to start meditating is just focus on breathing. The rest will come. Just 5 minutes a day is all you need to do to start, because it's starting on that journey towards developing a new habit. 5 minutes a day, close your eyes, block out the noise, and you will eventually get into the meditation stuff, and then make it 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Self-talk. Now there's a cracker. Self-talk. Remember I said I can't sponsor anybody. Nobody wants to join my business. Why is my life so dull? Self-talk. We do it all the time. 95% of our conversation is done by yourself. And you remember I said 80% is negative? Well, that's true. And 95% is the same as the day before. So if we've got the wrong self-talk, we'll never, ever be in a position where we'll develop and move forward. Negative emotion to watch. See, there's results. You get a result. I have this rule that I do not become emotionally attached to a result, because think about it. The result is the result. You could be positive about it. You could be negative about it. It doesn't matter. It's a result. It's not going to change. It's already there. So if you've sponsored, like, I don't know, 5 people, that's the result. It's there. If you've sponsored nobody, that's the result. It's there. But if you have a negative emotion towards it, guess what? You will get more of those results. And I'm not just talking about enrolling people in your business. I'm talking about results in every area of your life. You can look at it positively. It is what it is. I'll learn from it and I'll move on. Or what am I supposed to learn from it and move on anyway? But negativity will bring you more of the same results. Eliminate restrictive words. Now I love this stuff. I mean, we use these stuff all the time. I wish, I hope, I will try, maybe. All of these kind of words, I mean, we innocently use them, but we never think about the detrimental effects that they have on our results. Because like hope and wish and maybe and try, they're all wishful thinking. They're all, please, 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 I just hope this. No, you see, you've got to be intentional. I will make this happen. I am on an exciting journey, but I wish I was successful. I wish I could sponsor people. I hope that this person I speak to next will join my business. These are just words that actually kill your success, but because we're habitual in what we say and what we do, we tend to not even be aware that we're sort of restricting ourselves by using restrictive words. Any activity that stimulates your thoughts and feelings positively. So if you could do something that makes you feel good, the whole point is feeling good. Just do something, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is, whatever you do, but if it makes you feel, stimulate your thoughts and your positivity, wow, this is amazing. I love this. Do anything, whatever fits in your lifestyle, just do it. So that was just a brief overview of the law of attraction. I mean, this is a huge subject, huge subject. That was just like, I wasn't even scratching the surface on this. It's, you know, the subject is vast and it can never be covered in a few minutes. It would take you months just to really get an understanding of it. So I trust my aim was achieved and that you now understand the law of attraction and how it impacts your life. Your thoughts become feelings, become actions, become results. So if you look at results and it's not the result you're looking for, it's like follow the money, just follow it back. You've got the result, you've got the action, you've got the decision, you've got the thought, or sorry, you've got the feeling, then you've got the thought. Just trace it back and you'll always end up at the same place, and that's how you're thinking. So in closing, you now realize that every result that you're getting in your life is based upon how you think and how you feel. So then, if you want change some things in your life, you have abbreviated to change some things in your life, hoping and wishing for things, and hoping and wishing for different results by doing the same things that got you to where you are right now is absolute crazy. You can't possibly do the same thing that gets you the results you've got right now and hope for a different result. It doesn't work that way. Change your thoughts, the way you feel about it, and take different actions, and you'll get different results. So this was my foresight into this. So I hope you got value and it gave you some food for thought. I know it was just a scratch of the surface, but it was a good scratch of the surface. So I probably just get rid of that and bring Auntie on to give us some of her worldly wisdom just to contribute here, and then I'll take any questions if you have any.
Thank you, John. Of course, you know this is a topic very close to my heart. And I wanna add something that is hardly ever spoken about. All right, and is what to do when you hit the resistance, because there are too many people that know what to do and they're still not doing it. And for that, I want everybody to repeat after me, and say your name, and I'll do it for me. I, Antje Swart, I am an addict. Because
I'm an addict.
Yes, you, John, you are an addict. Lars, you're an addict. Stephanie, you are an addict. Rolf, I know Rolf. Rolf, you are an addict. We are addicted to our thought patterns and the emotions that they create. And when we hit the resistance of change, it is because we are physically addicted to the results that our thinking gives us. Our brain creates footpaths and highways of thinking, highways. Quick, quick, quick. They're always like this. You smell cinnamon, Christmas, boom. Okay? It's quick. That's not a conscious thought. Now, if you want to cinnamon and you think about Swedish kanelbulle, it takes a couple of years here before the Swedish kanelbulle with cinnamon comes before the pancake, right? Okay, so however, when we sleep, when we meditate, when we quiet, our brain has got a cleanup function, because in sleep, in trance, the metabolism changes and it cleans up our brain. So those thought highways that are not used anymore, just like any road gets broken down, the plants go through, you don't see it anymore. And the new footpath that we have laid in a session like this, being motivated to change our thoughts, gets built into the new superhighway. Now there's resistance, all right? And this is the key to success, that when you feel that resistance, because now you're doing something different, you don't beat yourself up with your negative self-talk, right? Because you get more of the resistance. You take yourself loving and caring, because you're an addict. You're going through withdrawal symptoms, because that's what you've always done, created a certain kind of comfort. It's a kick you get out of it. You know, some people get off when they complain about the neighbor's dog, and then they feel better. They're addict. You take the dog away, they don't know what to complain about. Okay. So take yourself on very loving, very caring, because you are weaning yourself. And there's that moment of, it's like when the car goes in reverse and then you put in the first gear and then there's that pull. And there's this moment of turnaround. That is when change happens. All right. And people don't talk about the addiction, the physical chemical addiction to your thoughts, because every thought is a physical reaction, which creates a chemical cocktail in your body. Right. And yeah, I just felt inspired to share that today. And we have lost John. I'm sure he's going to come back. he was strangely frozen there. All right. So just keep that in mind. When the resistance comes and when change is hard, you are busy coming clean, so to speak. All right, because that helps to embrace the change and make it a little bit easier. And do I have a 12-step program? No, I in fact have a 7-week program. So I have a 7-step program for this. That's in fact, I should create a new program. Okay, all right, Stephanie, you don't know me yet. I'm a coach, a hypnotherapist, and a business builder. So this, and Lars knows me very well. John knows me well. I've met Rolf before. All right, so yeah.
I can't speak. I am.
Oh, you've
no voice today.
Oh, you've got no voice. Oh, shame. Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. Do you have fisherman's friends? Do you know fisherman's friends? They're very, very good. I use them if I need to. All right. Well, if you have any questions or anything, put it in the chat, right? We have the chat. Okay. So we do have the chat, and we can use that. Okay. Rolf, do you have any questions or any comments? Okay, you okay, Stephanie? Okay, all right. I don't know what happened with John, but we can just continue, because mindset is so important, and that you actually follow through and stop thinking about things. What I also like to give people as a coping tool, because I personally don't believe in stillness of the mind, in having no thought. You've got to go, Lars?
No, John just called that his internet was down and he's trying to come back.
Okay, yeah.
If you can continue.
Yes, I do. I can. Thank you. Now, having no thought is almost impossible in the Western world, because having no thought is already a thought. So what you want to do, you want to give your mind something, your conscious mind, because your subconscious mind is always awake and alert. So you want to give your conscious mind something so that it runs itself to a point of standstill, something that you know will benefit you on the long run. All right. This is where the power of affirmations is very useful. So when you then feel it, affirmations can backfire very, very badly if you do them consciously, because you will always manifest and always attract what the underlying feeling is. We have 5 to 10% conscious thinking, and we have got 95 to 90% of unconscious thinking. So give your mind something that runs itself to a point of standstill. All right. If you are fearful, you can say to yourself the whole time, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Don't go with I'm safe, because you're not feeling safe. So don't climb the ladder from the first level up to the top. Make it step by step by step. If you have if you have a resistance, if you have a real block of reaching out to people, Don't tell yourself, I'm the best recruiter in the world, because you're not believing that. But tell yourself something which is good, to say, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. You know, all is well. It's possible. You know, so make it believable. And when you keep that in your mind and keep saying that to your mind, because you can only think one thought at a time, you don't have time. You don't have space in here to go down the old addictive patterns of procrastination and self-sabotage, because your mind is busy with something else. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of awareness, like John said right at the beginning. Welcome back, by the way. So, your internet, and you're also muted.
Yeah, my internet crashed about 3 or 4 times today, and it's all brand new, everything, and it's really, and I've got like the top package, and I thought, oh no, at least I got the presentation. I thought, oh my God, it's done it again. Just as well it switched over to the host. I thought the meeting completely destroyed, but no.
No, it's all good, you know. So there are tons of ways how you can make your mind your best friend, and your mind is your conscious thinking mind, and mostly it's your subconscious mind, because in your subconscious mind you have all the powers that you don't even know, and you have all the building blocks, the stepping the blockages, the stones. You also have them there. So make your mind, conscious and unconscious, your best friend, and you can handle yourself, right? And there's so much that you can do, and it is really about getting to know yourself and being kind to yourself, and stop overthinking things, and have the right balance between action and thinking. Because there's some people here in this room that love to think and think and think. Right, Les?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so you weren't listening.
No, it's interesting. I mean, the mind is a really complex organ, you know, and it takes a lot of understanding, but the basics are really quite simple. I mean, just adding on to what you mentioned there, the resistant thing, the resistant can be translated into another form, is because our mind, you know, it keeps us alive. It makes us, you know, we breathe and our blood flows. It does all that stuff anyway, you know, unconsciously. But what it does, its primary purpose, apart from all that going on in the background, is to keep us safe. Because when we were like cavemen and cave women, you know, if there's a saber-toothed tiger coming, oh no, that's not good. So we run away, fight or flight. And what happens is when you try to, like, you get involved in this business, or any business for that matter, or try something new, it doesn't matter. And what happens is that you compromise your subconscious mind, because you've got this comfort zone, and your subconscious mind's job is to keep you nice and safe and comfortable in there. And then you think to yourself, do you know, I've got this great idea. I want to become successful. Whoa, that's a danger. We can't be doing that. We can't be wandering out this nice, comfortable zone. And it sees it as a form of danger. So therefore, as Ancha mentioned, this resistance in the form of protection kicks in, and your subconscious mind will do its utmost to keep you in this nice, safe, comfortable, cuddly place. And that's where it's resistance. But you have this other person inside you. That's why we have these different personalities. Says, do you know what? Thanks very much for your feedback, but I'm going to do this anyway. So you need to fight the resistance and do it anyway.
Objection. You don't fight the resistance.
Well, not fight it, but what I meant was that you need to be aware of it, but you do it anyway.
Yes.
Maybe that's the wrong interpretation, but you do it anyway. And then guess what happens? When you overcome that resistance, you create a new comfort zone. And
exactly.
Successful people are always evolving. They're expanding, because they have comfort zones as well. It's just much bigger than ours, but they do have a comfort zone. But they're ever evolving, they're ever expanding their own comfort zones. And that's the only way that you can grow and become the person you need to be to deserve the success, because success comes after you becoming the person you need to be to develop success.
I want to add something here. Do we have questions?
Yes, we do. Got 12 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Questions? Well, Stephanie doesn't have a voice. Okay. So, all right. Stephanie says she's gonna type in the chat, and Rolf must also type in the chat. Okay. What do I want to say? Ah, that's my thought. It's about the. I've lost my thought. You were talking about the comfort zone, and oh yes, got it. Okay. There's a difference between your intuition that something is off and a limiting belief system telling you don't do it. And the difference is in a feeling. And the limiting belief system goes, yep, 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 and does not shut up. That's a limiting belief system based on the programming you received when you were little. The intuition, the true intuition that will always, always warn you from danger. And they've done studies on people that were mugged and stolen the handbags, and 95% said, I knew something was going to happen. I didn't want to walk down that road. All right. So we all have that intuition. We've just not listening to it. And that's a different feeling. That's a quiet knowing that quietly, but very authoritative and calmly says, don't do it. Like if you want to jump of a 3-story building, it doesn't go, yep, 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 don't do it, or maybe you shouldn't, no, maybe you know, no, but maybe it would be a good idea. No, it's just, don't do that. That's your intuition. And the limiting belief system goes, yep, 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 and does not shut up. So the intuition you want to listen to, because that guides you, right? The limiting belief system, you want to go, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I have grown up, and I can assure you, I'll be careful, we'll be all right. Because that is when you take that strong opposing force, turn it around and incorporate to propel you towards your desired outcome. Otherwise, if you're fighting it, it's going to come back. You're creating resistance. And then because it's been there for 20 odd years, because we're all over 25, right? Okay. So it's okay. John still needs his nappies. All right. He's under 25. Yeah.
Benjamin Button, I am growing backwards.
So, because it's been a super highway, if you fight it, you're always going to get the resistance, and you will 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose it. But if you take it on in a loving, caring way, so hello, I'm an addict, okay? And then you feel the fear and do it anyway. You start using that powerful energy that you have to reach your desired outcomes, and then you're stretching the comfort zone. All right. So learn to know what is intuition and what isn't. Do you want to know how you can practice that on a day-to-day basis? Do you know how to do this? Do you want to know how you can fine-tune easily your intuition? You go grocery shopping. You go grocery shopping and you go into the fruit section and you pick up tropical fruit. Okay, you pick up a mango or a pineapple or something like that, because they can be horrible and they can be good. And how the heck do we know? So you pick it up and you simply feel and ask the question, is that a good pineapple or isn't it? The first thing, there isn't a good, the first thing that comes into mind, that's your intuition, because you're holding it in your hand, so you are energetically connected to the pineapple, okay? All right? Or to the mango. So you buy it, all right? You come home and you cut it. And do this fairly straight after you've done shopping, because then it's still fresh in the mind, and then you will know, yes, you remember that feeling, or yeah, it's rock hard and it's not sweet at all. And you know what? I actually wanted to take the other one. And you do this a couple of times. There's lots of fun in the grocery shopping. Works with fruits better than with vegetables. And this is how you can really learn and fine tune what intuition says to you, feels to you, and what is when your thinking is coming in. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You're getting healthier because you're eating lots of vegetables, okay, and fruits, and it really works. Yeah.
So a top tip, because obviously, today it's for all of us actually, it's 23 minutes past 9 in the evening. So when we get up tomorrow, the thing that we can do we can't change an hour ago, we can't change yesterday, it's gone, but we can change tomorrow by what we do today. So set an intention to not think about it, it's being whatever that it is, but just to do it. And trust your intuition, trust your ability, and trust your own direction that you're going in life. Just set an intention, right? Today I am going to change. Today I am going to do this thing, whatever your thing is, and do it. Don't think about it, because you see, this is a thing. This is a great thing I love telling people. Something first of all becomes easy or difficult at the point where we start thinking about it. Now, there's a thing to think about. Mm-hmm. This thing here is not easy and it's not difficult. It's just this thing. But once we start thinking about this thing, and that thing might be, well, I'm going to reach out to some people about business. I'm going to clean up my garage. I'm going to whatever it is. Once we start thinking about it, remember we spoke about the paradigm, the mindset, our attitude. When we start thinking about it, guess what? That neutral thing then becomes difficult, but it becomes easy. It's nothing more than the way we think about it. And it's like everything in life. When we start thinking about it, it's either easy or it's not. That's dependent on us, because the same thing somebody else over here will be doing, and he's doing it flawlessly. No problem at all. But we're having a problem. Why is that? Because we start thinking the wrong thoughts about that thing, and therefore we get the different results. Does that make sense, what we've said so far, to the people who are on the call this evening? Lars?
Yes.
Set an intention and take action.
Yes.
Decision, action, results. Anybody get any questions? Because I don't want to go on too long tonight. I think you'll agree that we've had a very good, thank you for your contribution there, Antje.
You're welcome.
Very informative, and it's always good to get, because I think that we can learn all the information in the world about how to speak to people, everything. But if we're doing it the wrong way, because it's not what we're doing, it's how we're doing what we're doing that makes the difference.
I have one last closing sentence here, which is one of my favorite things to say. Who are you being when you're doing the doing?
And here's another one I'll just throw on top of that, is that as we're all in the same business here, ask yourself this question. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself this question. Would I sponsor me, the person you are today? Would I sponsor me if I knew that person is? And if the answer is anything less than absolutely, we've got some work to do. We have got some work to do. But we need to be truthful and honest with ourselves.
Yep.
Fantastic. So, well, that's it. Well, I think you need to stop recording there, Lars, because you're the host.
Am I the host? Okay.
Yes, you are. You are. It was a default setting that because I disappeared as the host, the system.
No, the universe just put me
Well,
on.
I don't know exactly, but you became the host for some reason. I'm glad about that, because I thought the whole meeting crashed. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to phone everybody up.
Okay. Thank you, and have a nice evening.
Yeah, you just stop the recording. Just press the...
Oh, stop the recording, yes. Find the record button.
It's in the middle, the round circle.
Yeah, if you have a big screen, yes, but not min. Stoppa inspelning. Yep.